Hi, welcome back. I'm on episode number 2 of my monthly catch-ups and all my sewing plans. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who viewed my first video last month and subscribed to my channel. I was really flattered. I didn't really expect to have many people watch it, so that was a nice surprise. And I'm just back with February's. I can't believe it's nearly the end of February, but I suppose it is quite a quick month. First up, I thought I'd talk about my Minerva fabrics for this month. So I've got 6 this time round. I've already got plans for them all. This is the first one, which is so soft. I absolutely love the colour. It's fleece backed sweatshirting. It's lovely. I've got 3 meters of this, so I'm planning to make the Hudson pants by True Bias and also the new sweatshirt that's been released by Helen's Closet Patterns, the Jackson sweatshirt, and I just think it'll be really nice and snuggly. I reckon it'll be a great 2-piece, which I'll probably wear around the house. I don't know if I would wear this much print out of the house, but maybe I'll change my mind when it's made. But also I think it'll be a really nice jumper to wear with jeans or skirt, whatever else. Yeah, so I'll be excited about this one, and I just absolutely love the colours. Pink isn't normally something I'd go for, but I do like certain shades, and I think it works really nice with this olive. So yeah, so that'll be lovely. I've also got a make for John this month. I'm going to make him an Ilford coat, which is the Ilford jacket pattern by Friday Pattern Company. So he chose his own fabric, so he's gone for this. I think it's 100% wool. Very fancy. It's sort of like grey and blue. It's a really lovely fabric. I haven't pre-washed this. I did pre-wash my coat fabric, although I don't know if I should have done. It didn't shrink, but I'm probably only going to get my coat washed at the dry cleaners, and I'm not going to wash this myself because it is such a high content of wool and I don't want it to get damaged. So I'm going to make him the Ilford coat because he likes mine, so I said I'd make him his own, and he likes plainer fabrics. He's not really so into the check, so that will be one for him. I also purchased a few things which I bought myself. These weren't gifted to me in exchange for posts. So the 6 fabrics that I'm going to show you were gifted to me. So I've bought this woven interfacing, which will be for John's coat. I interface the body of my coat just to stop any bagging out. I didn't do the sleeves because I ran out of interfacing. So I've bought enough to do all of John's coat. So that's just a woven interfacing, and it feels really nice. It's a lot nicer than the papery ones you can get. I do use the papery ones, but it depends what I'm using it for. I'm going to share this video on my Minerva profile, so I'll link in everything I'm talking about in case you want to look at it yourself. I have also got this peach skin crepe. I actually was going to ask for the mustard colourway of this one. There's 3 colourways, but I forgot to put that in my email. I wanted to start looking at adding a few different colours to my wardrobe, so I was quite excited when I saw I was getting this colourway, and I really love it. Blue is one of the colours that I wanted to add more into my wardrobe, and I like how it goes with the orange in there. So I'm going to make another Maya Sotis dress with this one, but I'm going to lengthen the first tier and do the second tier, so it's sort of a 3/4 length dress. And I'm also going to do the sleeve ruffles. I have also got a micro satin. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but it's got a lovely texture. It's a really, really nice texture. and it's completely opaque. I love the print. I picked this to make a Helen's Closet Suki robe, although I kind of wanted to keep it for a dress once it got here. It's a much bigger print than I was expecting. I don't know why, I think the name micro threw me off and I thought it was going to be lots of tiny flowers, but it's not. It's beautiful. And I did consider making the Elodie dress instead, but I'm going to stick with the Suki robe because I've been wanting to treat myself to a luxurious dressing gown for ages. I made John a Suki robe, so I kind of feel like it's my time to have one. So I've got this stretch denim. I've never used stretch denim before, but I've already got the Ginger Jeans by Closet Core Patterns, which uses a stretch denim. I really love other people's, so I did really want to give it a go. So I picked this one. It's got a tiny little check print, and I think it'll make a really nice pair of trousers. It's quite a lightweight denim. It's got a bit of stretch, if you can see that. And then my last one is a brushed cotton or a flannel cotton. I'm going to check that. And it's this lovely check. Again, it's blue. I wanted to add some more blue to my wardrobe because I think it just looks lovely with that brownie orange. So I'm going to make myself the Ilford jacket as a shirt this time round. I'm going to do the short view, I'm going to do placket sleeves, I'm going to do a bunch of pockets. And I think I really love this. I made my Ilford jacket in a size smaller than recommended because I didn't want it to be too oversized, and I'm going to go down a size again because I want this to be not a fitted shirt, but I think it'll be more oversized than I'd like if I make it in the size I made my coat. The other things I bought, the things on with my interfacing, are this ribbing. I find it really hard to know what colour you're going to get when you look online because different devices, different screens, it changes how the colour looks, and it's hard to match it up to a fabric you've already got. So I picked this ribbing hoping that it would match my fabric. Sewing room's a little bit disorganised at the moment because my fabric shelf fell down this week, so I'm waiting to fix that. I've had to order some special wall plugs because it's going into a stud wall, so what I originally had wasn't strong enough. Anyway, I bought this jersey from Finn's Fashion Fabrics in Scarborough. I went on holiday there during whichever lockdown, and the lady in the shop was lovely, and she said she was getting some of this jersey in. It wasn't in a colourway I liked at the time, but she said she was getting some of the colourways in, so I messaged her and she took a load of photos. She was very helpful, and she sent me this. So I really love it, and I was going to make the Blackwood cardigan by Helen's Closet because I got this a while ago. Since then, the Marlowe or Marley, I can't remember which it's called, anyway, by True Bias has been released, and I really like the cardigan. It's just a real cute traditional cardigan, so I've decided that I'm going to use it for that, but I don't think I want to use this for the neckband and the cuffs. I wanted to use something plain because I wasn't sure how it would work with the pattern, so I've ordered this from Minerva. And actually it's not perfect match, but that'll do me just fine, so I'm really pleased with that. So that was another Minerva purchase, and I have also ordered some batting for my Tamarick jacket. So I'm pleased with the weight of this. It's not too thick and it's not too thin. I think it'll be a really nice weight for a jacket. I wanted something good quality because, well, you know, you put all that time into something, you want it to last, don't you? I emailed Minerva to get some more details on this because I wanted to match it up to a batting I already had, and I wanted to check the fabric fibre contents, so they were really helpful and got back to me with all those details, so that was good. I ended up with that. I also just wanted to say that I ordered some things that I didn't want to keep. So I have to excuse me, my friend's having a baby today, so I'm just keeping an eye on my messages, because, well, it's really exciting, isn't it? Anyway, so I just wanted to say about Minerva that I have never ordered and returned things before because I've just never had to with fabric shops. So I ordered some netting for underwear, which came, and it's just not suitable. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just not suitable for what I wanted to use it for. And I just want to say how easy their return process is. I went online, printed out a label, booked it in at the post office and dropped it off at my corner post office. Free returns, they will exchange it if you want. I just sent mine back, so I was really pleased with that. My makes for this month, I'm in the process of making this Gilbert top by Helen's Closet using fabric from Minerva in exchange for a post. So I just thought I'd share that. That's my progress so far. It's coming together really nicely and quicker than I expected. I don't know if I've just got quicker at the sewing. Maybe that's it. I definitely have to unpick less now, so I suppose that saves a lot of time. So that's my top so far. I have also made this estuary skirt. I will put in some photographs. This is another Minerva make. It was done using a cotton shirting. I've had the pattern for ages. I've had it printed out for maybe a year. Never mind. So I finally got around to making it. I really like the construction. The pockets are a bit unusual because you have two pieces of fabric. The lining is cut smaller. Then you ease the pieces together, and when you turn them inside out, the fact that the lining is cut smaller, it keeps those seam lines on the inside of the pocket so they're not peeking out, which I thought was clever. I'll probably do that with other pockets because it just was so much easier and worked nicer. But I use these buttons from my grandma's sewing supplies. She's passed away now. So it was, I really like it when I get to use buttons that have been passed down to me. It just makes it feel a bit special. They are all different, but I don't think that matters. The fabric is opaque, but you can see through it slightly if you're wearing something dark underneath. So just bear that in mind. I love it as a skirt. It's soft, cotton softens the more you wash it. I've already washed this twice. And it would also look really nice as a shirt as well, I thought. I was a bit unsure about whether to make a skirt or a shirt, but I went with a skirt because that was my original plan and I'd been wanting to make this skirt for ages. So the only other thing that was a bit odd that I'll have to look at changing for next time is the back waistband. I held the elastic round my back to get the right length for me and what was comfortable, and unfortunately when I've put it in the back waistband I haven't been able to stretch it enough to match up with the fabric, so I haven't been able to top stitch, which doesn't matter, but I do like the look of the top stitching. So I think next time I'm going to just take a wedge, well, just when I cut it on the fold I will just cut half an inch out and move it along, and then that will get rid of an inch at the back. And this skirt's got a lot of volume, which I really like because it's cut, I suppose it's sort of like a half circle skirt, but I like how it hangs. But I don't think it'll take too much away from the volume, so that's my plan for next time. So my other make this month is my Zadie jumpsuit. Well, my first Zadie jumpsuit, I'm going to say, was a disaster. I had 3 meters of iCat from Itokri, which I really love the colours of. I forgot that it's narrower than other fabrics and I couldn't cut the whole jumpsuit out of the 3 meters, but I'd already started cutting because, well, I forget to plan ahead. My bad. I decided to do one half of the bodice in my yellow eye cat and the rest of the jumpsuit in green because I thought that would look quite funky. I didn't like it, unfortunately. I haven't finished sewing it because I didn't see the point. I got to a point where I could try the jumpsuit on and I wasn't happy with it. I nearly had a slight paddy and just stitched it all together. After moaning a little bit and reminding myself how much I loved the Zadie jumpsuit because I wanted one for ages, I decided to make some fit adjustments. I have made quite a lot of fit adjustments. Well, yeah, quite a lot. So first of all, the legs were caving in. So I've taken a little wedge out of the side seams, only a 1/4 inch, a tiny amount, and just sort of cut down to take that 1/4 inch out of the side seam. That's brought my legs back out so they don't just flop inwards. I have also taken an inch out of the bottom part of the jumpsuit in between the crotch and the waist. The crotch was very low, way too low. You do need a lot of room to move in a jumpsuit, but I didn't need that much room, so I've taken an inch out there. I also did 1/2 inch seam allowances instead of 3/8 of an inch, and a flat seat adjustment, which I always end up doing. So you can see the process on my highlights on Instagram if you want to look in more detail, but that's the changes I've made. I then cut out Zadie 2.0, as I'm going to call her, in a black and white eye cat, also from my Tokri, but I had 3.5 meters of this one, so I had enough to make the short sleeved version, and I love it. I am so glad I continued with that pattern because I really love it. It's really comfy. I really like how it looks on my body. Yeah, I've worn it loads and I'm gonna make another. I think in the viscose, which was one of my original options, I think I'm gonna make another one in that. I'm not sure how I'd feel about making it in a heavier fabric. I don't know if that would really be my style, but I really like it. I've also got a fabric that was gifted to me as part of the secret sewing swap that I'd quite like to make one out of. I'll show you it, it's lovely. My buddy was Alex Judge Sews on Instagram, and she's a fellow redhead, and just look at that colour. Absolutely love it, really love it. So I think this is going to become another Zadie because I just really love this fabric. The other thing I've been working on is my tamarick jacket, which I think I mentioned in the previous video. I'm doing a quilted tamarick jacket. I have cut out 200 3-inch squares, 200 4-inch squares, and I'm in the process of sewing them together, and this is the first side that I've got sewn together. So it'll be that side there. And I think I mentioned before that I wanted to do this sort of blue to green to yellow. So how I've decided to do this is I've started using a drawing app on my iPad called Procreate. I've drawn myself a croquet, I'm probably saying this wrong. I've drawn myself a croquet by taking an image of myself in a t-shirt and pants, drawing around the outside of myself, deleting that, filling in my body, my skin tone, putting in a few highlights, drawing my tattoos, drawing my facial features, putting my hair, and made a cartoon version of my body. I really like it because it is actually my body. That is actually what I look like. It's my shape, it's all my lumps and bumps, all my curves, it's even got my slightly slanted shoulders. And it's just really nice to have something which will realistically represent what clothes are going to look like on me. Anyway, I digress, but I've been drawing up all my sewing plans, and I think that's what I'm going to do moving forward. I hope that I will get all my clothing drawn up, so then once it's made I can put different outfits together in the planning process and see how things are going to go into my wardrobe before I've made them. Yeah, so that's Procreate for you. I also have had a few people ask me about it, so I was thinking that I would do a tutorial at some point of how I drew my own croquet. So anyway, back to the Tamarick, I drew on my grid onto the pattern pieces to work out how many rows and columns and how many squares I needed. I then drew the pattern pieces on Procreate, put on that grid and coloured in my patchwork coat so that I could get a rough idea of how it was going to work to sew up, so that I could figure out how many rows of blue I wanted, how many rows of green, how many rows of yellow. So that's where I'm at with that. I am going to quilt this to my batting, and I'm going to use a blanket that my brother gave me that he doesn't want anymore, because look at that, it's lovely. That's going to be my lining. I love to recycle things, so I'm really chuffed with this idea. So I'm going to quilt each piece up roughly, oops, not my camera then, roughly quilt up each piece, and then I will put my pattern pieces on top to cut it out, because I just want to check how much shrinkage I get with the quilting. So I'm going to do one piece first, and then I will do the other pieces afterwards when I can establish whether I need to add any extra sides or bottoms. Last thing that I've been sewing is a bra. I think there was just one last thing I was going to mention before I go. The reason why sewing my bra went so smoothly is probably because of my new sewing machine. I have recently purchased the Pfaff Ambition 630 from New Craft House. I just want to say that their customer service is excellent. I was very, very happy with them. I did have an issue with the first machine that was sent to me. It was damaged in transit, unfortunately out of everyone's control, but their response to my email with regards to that was rapid, and they sent me out a new machine, which I was very glad about, because I was a little bit sad that it arrived broken, but they responded rapidly, and I was really, really happy about that. So I am probably going to do a review of the machine at some point. I don't feel like I've used it enough at the moment. I've had it about 2 weeks, but I would say that I don't think I would have sewn that bra so smoothly if it hadn't have been for this machine. I could have done it on my brother, but my brother struggles a little bit with delicate fabrics. I have had previous issues with that. It doesn't handle them quite as smoothly, so it's quite frustrating, whereas this handled them beautifully. It's got the built-in walking foot, which helps. It's got a really nice selection of stitches, so yes, that was nice. And I just feel like it's a bit sturdier than my brother. It's a bit more heavy duty, so it just handles the fabric a little bit nicer. But I'll talk more about that another time, once I've given it a bit more of a run. I hope you enjoyed listening, and I'll catch up with you next month.